During the 1940s, Black beauty was either invisible or the joke. America was basically telling you that you did not belong. That was until Ebony and Jet showed up. They made regular Black people the standard. They created a cosmetic company for dark skin when none existed. And they proved to advertisers that Black money was always green. So join us today while we tell the story of how Ebony taught America that Black is beautiful. If you like stories like this, you can find more stories like this at onemichistory.com. But without further ado, let's get started. Before World War II, the main idea of beauty in popular culture was white. When Black people showed up on screen, they were often stuck in ugly stereotypes: the Jezebel, the mammy, the clown, the servant. In a lot of white newspapers, Black people were mainly shown for crime and disaster. There was this daily message that you were less than. And if you've never seen your image honored, you start to doubt your own possibilities. So in Chicago, a young insurance salesman by the name of Johnny Johnson looked at all of this and decided to do something simple. If you want to change how people act, you first have to change how people see you. Johnny Johnson was part of the Great Migration. His family left Jim Crow, Arkansas to start a new life in Chicago. He worked at a Black-owned insurance company in Bronzeville, which is a Black neighborhood full of Black businesses and talent. And he read both the white press and the Black press, and he saw how the Chicago Defender and the Pittsburgh Courier uplifted Black life, and he wanted to do that with a glossy magazine. So in 1942, Johnson tested the idea of Negro Digest, a pocket magazine that shared Black writing and ideas. It was designed to be a Black Reader's Digest, and it sold out. That small win proved that there was an audience. So in 1945, he took a bigger risk. He borrowed $500 against his mother's furniture and launched Ebony. His wife and partner, Eunice Walker Johnson, chose the name Ebony, like the dark wood, and the title said it all: Black is beautiful. Ebony's recipe was clear. It borrowed strong visuals from Life magazine, but put Black people at the center. It showed stars like Lena Horne, Dorothy Dandridge, Joe Louis, Thurgood Marshall, Muhammad Ali in elegant photos. Inside, readers saw sororities, small businesses, HBCU graduates, travel, fashion, art, and home life. Its tone was not defensive. It was joyful and proud. The message to Black readers was to display every part of Black American life. And its message to white readers was that you need to update your idea of what American is. Johnson also built a strong team. He hired skilled editors and photographers. He invested in good paper and good ink and careful photo work so that image matched the dignity of the people on the page. Ebony felt like a keepsake. Families saved issues. Teachers bought them for their classes, and families mailed them to soldiers overseas. In 1951, Johnson saw another need: speed. People wanted a quick weekly record that they could carry in their pocket, read on the bus, pass along in the barbershop or the beauty salon. So he launched Jet, a small, fast, and profoundly Black magazine. It covered politics, weddings, obituaries, entertainment, and day-to-day progress in the civil rights movement. Many called it the Negro Bible because if it mattered on Wednesday, it was in Jet on Friday. That weekly rhythm made a difference. In a time when many mainstream papers ignored Black life, a stack of Jet on a counter turned into a newsroom. Ebony and Jet became a monthly and weekly mirrors that said, "Look at us and look at what we had built." From the very first issue, Ebony pushed back against insult. It showed Black women and men as smart, modern, and stylish. It ran features on HBCUs, campus queens, debutante balls, professional women's clubs. It linked beauty and learning to work and service and refused to put us in the old boxes and always showed us as a full-fledged, well-rounded people. This idea was rooted in the Harlem Renaissance and the New Negro movement, which said that self-presentation could change how people treat you. Ebony updated that for this post-war era. The point was not to copy white standards, it was to set a black standard, elegance on our own terms. With that in mind, in 1952, Jet added the beauty of the week, and each week on a full-page photo of everyday women, often in a bathing suit with a name, city, job, and interests. A teacher in St. Louis, a nurse in Houston, a student in D.C. For a country trained to ignore black beauty, it was quite the shock. It said that our black neighbors set the standard, not the exception. And some loved the spotlight of everyday women, and others worried about the male gaze and modesty. Jet printed letters that covered both sides, and the feature kept going and evolving, but the core message stayed the same. Ordinary black women deserve to be in frame. The magazine did not just stop at pages. In 1958, Eunice Johnson started the Ebony Fashion Fair. It began as a fundraiser and grew into a famous touring show. It brought high-level Paris fashion to local theaters and ballrooms across the country. Church groups and college students dressed up for the show. Tickets raised millions of dollars for scholarships and community programs, and Eunice had strong taste and real power. If a fashion house was slow to loan clothes for the black show, she bought her own clothes, and designers soon learned that the fashion fair crowds were stylish and ready to spend. Black models who were often shut out by the big names were walking the runway in Dior and Givenchy and Saint Laurent, and they showed that high fashion and black beauty belonged together. But backstage, there was a problem. Makeup didn't match darker skin. Artists mixed 3 and 4 lighter shades just to make one that might work. Powders left a gray cast. Lipstick disappeared on darker lips. The problem wasn't the models. The problem was a market that refused to see us. So in 1973, Eunice solved it by launching Fashion Fair Cosmetics. It was the first high-end makeup line built for darker complexions. Department stores carried it, and its shade range honored the full spectrum of black skin. Lipsticks and blushes that look good in real life just as they did on camera. And Fashion Fair grew into the world's largest black-owned cosmetics company. It proved that the question was never, is there a demand? It was, will companies serve us with some respect? This change spread to other areas of media. Photographers learned to light darker skin. Beauty writers learned to test more than 2 or 3 shades. Hair stories expanded to include natural styles like locks and braids, and talked about how hair politics mattered. Ebony and Jet taught readers how to read images, how to look at a pose, how to read a headline, an ad, a product line, and ask, do I see myself here? Additionally, John H. Johnson was a sharp salesman. In 1947, he brought in Zenith as an advertiser. He also targeted automakers and big home brands. The pitch was very simple. Black households were $1 million market, and black money was always green. He backed this with numbers of jobs and income and education, and he showed that loyal readers had real buying power. Many ad leaders were used to selling to the white suburbs. Johnson showed them a new path. He proved that ads with black models and black sales reps worked better with black consumers, and he built a sales team that knew the black community. Additionally, he was patient and stubborn. One story talks about a salesman who went to Detroit every single week for years before a car company finally said yes to ads in the magazine. And as those deals landed, the pictures changed. You began to see black families in car ads, black professional and banking ads, black couples in travel spreads. These were simple images, but they had been missing. And the goal was not a one-time token. It was a steady, honest picture. If you want someone's business, show them some respect. In the 1960s and 1970s, the Black is Beautiful movement grew strong. Natural hair, African-inspired clothes, and art that centered black life became more common. Ebony and Jet gave that movement a glossy home with a large audience. By the 1980s, Ebony reached millions of readers and touched roughly 40% of Black audiences. Jet's weekly rhythm kept all of this in motion, and the wins didn't feel like a one-off when you saw them week to week, month to month. And this helped the magazine change the ad industry from the inside. Black-owned ad agencies used Ebony and Jet to prove that cultural-specific ideas perform better than generic ones. And the lesson was very clear. People buy when they feel seen, not when they feel used. Representation was not charity, it was smart business. But these pictures didn't stand alone. Ebony and Jet helped build an ecosystem around Black beauty and pride. Charm schools and modeling agencies trained posture and speech and confidence. As more brands hired Black models, more people got work and experience, and opened doors in TV and movies and on runways. Community groups used Ebony Fashion Fair to raise money for scholarships and local programs. Church ran bus trips to shows. Sororities and social clubs helped host events. Beauty became a way to fund education and build Black community power. Local groups grew too. Tailors and hairstylists and makeup artists and photographers built small businesses around the standards that Ebony and Jet set. Department stores that sold Fashion Fair hired Black beauty advisors who knew how to match shades and give real advice. Some of these workers moved on to buying and management, which led to store culture changing from the inside. Even the company itself sent a message. Johnson Publishing built a modern glass and steel headquarters on Michigan Avenue in Chicago, and it said out loud that Black media belonged on the skyline. While Jet could be glamorous, it could also be serious. In 1955, it made a hard moral choice. With Mamie Till Mobley's permission, Jet published photos of Emmett Till's open casket funeral, and these images were extremely painful, but they weren't graphic. And that decision is one of the reasons why Emmett Till is still within the public consciousness, and it helped shame the country and force a country to act. So, what happened when Ebony and Jet put Black people on the cover again and again? First, representation moved from being rare to normal. A Black girl in Birmingham or a Black boy in Johannesburg could open a magazine and see a future that had never been pictured to them before. Second, Black beauty stopped being a weapon used against Black men and women. On these pages, Black beauty became a proof of dignity and skill and belonging. And third, advertisers, who were the gatekeepers of mass attention, had to invest images that respected Black consumers. Pictures did the work that laws and policy could not do alone. Congressman Louis Stokes said that Johnny Johnson, without holding public office, stood at the front of the fight for equality. And that's the message here. Ebony and Jet used the soft power of a glossy page to move the hard edges of American racism. And these two magazines had one idea: change the picture. Ebony and Jet replaced cheap cartoons with real people, shame with style, absence with abundance. And they did not just record a movement, they put a face to it, a wardrobe, a smile that could look straight into the camera and say that you belong. Thank you. I'm your host, Country Boy. This has been One Mic Black History, and this is the story of when Ebony and Jet put Black beauty into frame. If this episode changed the way you see Ebony and Jet, hit that subscribe button for more stories like this at OneMicHistory.com. I would like to thank all my financial contributors. Without you, none of this can be possible. I love you all. Thank y'all for your support. Peace.